Hey everyone, Matt Jarbo here with a quick update over the Mundane Cat GoFundMe. This is Chance. He is home from the hospital and he is doing much better. Everyone has been so generous so far. For that, I am eternally grateful. You guys have no idea. We're not quite done yet. 6,000 is the goal. We're almost there, and I just really hope you guys can help push it over. We are just over $4,200 in the GoFundMe, and we're almost there, but we need a little bit further of a push. If you can help, please go to gofundme.com/MundaneCat, and thank you again from the bottom of my heart. You guys totally rock. Thanks. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and I'm actually really shocked at the headline of this article here. This particular story in general is something I heard about a while ago. In my wildest dreams, I never thought that it would get signed into law in California. I know that this guy right here, Senator Scott Wiener, not state senator. He's a Senate District 11 out of San Francisco right here, representing California Senate District number 11. Clearly progressive. At this particular case, I'd call this guy a regressive who will probably go down in history not very well. And the reason why I say that is because he's the one who pushed for this new law to be signed into effect. That, well, if you knowingly expose others to HIV, it will no longer be a felony in California. So it's nice to know that knowingly exposing somebody to a potentially life-ending or disease is not classified as a felony anymore. Now, look, I'm not trying to stigmatize HIV or AIDS. I fully understand that it is not as rampant as it was back in the 80s. I understand that they are trying to destigmatize the fear surrounding AIDS. I get that wholeheartedly. That being said, knowingly doing this is now a misdemeanor? No, man, F you, dude. F you. No way in hell. Knowingly shows intent. That should be a damn felony, because at that point, if you knowingly infect somebody, you are intending to kill them, just taking a long time, or giving them I mean, people could say Magic Johnson's been diagnosed with HIV since the early 90s and he's been fine. Yeah, some people have, but is that a gamble you want to take? Apparently Scott Wiener does. Apparently he does. I'm actually pretty shocked at this. It's just insane to me. But let's go through the story here. Governor Jerry Brown, who, by the way, impeach him now. If not for this, for other things. I'm definitely on the liberal side of things, but Governor Moonbeam has got to go. Okay, Governor Moonbeam he's got to go. All right, get some new blood into California. Get some actual good people in there. Not Governor Moonbeam. He only came in because of the hell that came out of Gray Davis's recall in 2003. By the way, that was when I ran for governor against Arnold Schwarzenegger. And this is not me saying impeach him because I want to make another bid for it. I live in Washington now. But I also won a radio station contest, and it was a funny experience. The point I'm trying to get to, though, is that we got Schwarzenegger. Right? And then Jerry Brown came back in and won, and he had been the governor from way back in the day, hence the name Governor Moonbeam. Like, we're talking the 70s. And no, it's time. He gotta go. We gotta put term limits in place for a reason. That's my whole argument. Anyway, Governor Jerry Brown signed a bill on Friday that lowers from a felony to a misdemeanor the crime of knowingly exposing a sexual partner to HIV without disclosing the infection. Because ethics in AIDS now apparently means nothing. Ethics in disease control mean nothing, right? Just knowingly. Anyway, the measure also applies to those who give blood without telling the blood bank they are HIV positive. Are you? So you're saying that you knowingly go into a blood bank, right? And you knowingly give blood and you know that you're HIV positive or you got full-blown AIDS. it's a misdemeanor. Slap on the wrist, maybe a little bit of time in county lockup, maybe a little community service, maybe a small fine. You're back out there infecting people once more. That's no. Look, your sexual partner, still wrong, but that's one side of this. But going to a blood bank and giving blood, I mean, I think they test for it anyway, but the point is, it's still such a scummy thing to do. But no, let him do it because you want to destigmatize AIDS. You want to destigmatize. And I get that, but this is not how you do it. It's through education. Needle needle exchange programs or whatever it was they were doing for a long time to kind of curb the expansion of this. Right. And I get it. This is from San Francisco, the largest gay population on the West Coast. There was a big boom there with the disease back in the day. Unfortunately, and so I get the intent here, but this is my conservative side coming out. Are you kidding me? Knowingly, that just makes me so mad. Modern medicine allows those with HIV to live longer lives and nearly eliminates the possibility of transmission, according to State Senator Scott Wiener out of San Francisco and Assemblyman Todd Gloria out of San Diego. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure come 2018, both these dudes are out of a job or whatever the next election is. Especially, I hope San Diego gets that guy out of there. I do. I really, really do. San Diego is more democratic than more liberal than conservative, whether you want to believe it or not. But they're also not stupid. And I hope, yeah, I would have voted this guy out if I was still living there. I would have voted this guy out. Today, California took a major step towards treating HIV as a public health issue instead of treating people living with HIV as criminals. No one is treating people living with HIV as criminals. They're treating their actions as potential distributors of a disease, a life-ending, a life-changing, a life-altering disease as criminals. That's the whole aspect. If they knowingly transmit the disease, all right, like that's the whole issue here. It's not a stigma if they're knowingly committing a crime, trying to end somebody else's life. Yes, drugs nowadays allow it to continue living your life with, maybe not getting AIDS from HIV or transmitting it. I fine. But no, when it's knowingly, I could sit there and say, if you're like, oh, unknowingly, we're going to reduce the crime. But when it's a malicious attack, which is what this truly is, a malicious attack, no, you don't get a pass go. You don't get $200. You don't get it marked down to a felony. You go to jail because that's a crime. Okay. That's selfish. Scott Wiener is so selfish in this particular case, right? And he's got that smug look on his face. Like, I'm just going to let people just knowingly transmit HIV. That's perfectly fine. I mean, it doesn't kill you, right? I mean, oh, it does. Oh, I mean, like not for a while. I mean, there's drugs, but I mean, it's like, you're fine. If you have insurance, we don't have insurance in this state, though. No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. No, screw him. Screw him so hard. Anyway, California took so Wiener said in a statement, HIV should be treated like all their serious infectious diseases, and that's what SB 239 does. No, it doesn't. Because did you know, just as a little side factoid here, like Ebola, for example. Let's talk about Ebola, just quick thing. Ebola will kill you, but you can be treated for it. And guess what happens when you are treated and cured of Ebola? It doesn't leave your system. You are still a carrier of the Ebola virus. It's just not infecting you, which means that unprotected sex with the person can transmit the Ebola virus to them. If that was happening, knowingly, would that just be treated as another infectious disease, or would that be considered a crime? I'm just positing that particular idea out there because it'd be considered a freaking crime pretty much anywhere else. Because you're still knowingly giving somebody something that can kill them in a dosage that can basically kill them. You know what I mean? Like anyway. Supporters of the change said the current law requires an intent to transmit HIV to justify a felony, but others noted cases have been prosecuted where there was no physical contact. So there was an argument where intent was lacking. Brown decided to, or declined to comment on his action. Of course he did. Governor Moonbeam, oh, I'm just going to condemn people that, nothing they can do if they get infected knowingly. I'm just going to sit here in Sacramento and not care about people. And that's what it boils down to. You can sit there and call me a conservative in this case all you want. You can call me whatever you want. I'm literally upset because people out there can now get, can be poisoned with a disease, an infectious disease, for a time, a bad infectious epidemic disease, worthy disease back in the 80s when we didn't know a lot about it at the time. I get that things have changed. I'm not stupid, but if the intent is the issue here, intent is the issue, my friends. HIV has been the only communicable disease for which exposure is a felony under California law. The current law, Weiner argued, may convince people not to be tested for HIV because without a test, they cannot be charged with a felony if they expose a partner to the infection. This is where education comes in. This is where you want to have programs to get people tested, to get it all figured out, to get it sorted out so they can get treatment, so then they can be on the medications that would prevent transmission. What this is doing is you're literally sweeping a potential problem under the rug by not decriminalizing it, but really just minimizing what you can be charged for. Again, intent. So if I am infected with HIV and I stab myself with a needle and then I stab somebody else with that needle and contract it there, oh yeah, there's no sexual contact there, but I'm still willfully injecting them with my blood that carries this disease, but not the same thing. It's just intent. Again, I can understand accidents happen. Okay. I get that. I'm not arguing against accidents, but this guy's trying to just minimize it, sweep it under the rug, make it go away. That's not how you destigmatize something. That's not how you destigmatize something, period. Anyway, it's like, we're going to end new We're going to end new HIV infections, and we will do so not by threatening people with state prison time, but rather by getting people into test and providing them access to care. You don't know. That's not how you do that. That is not how you do that. I'm not saying, yes, there shouldn't be programs to get people educated on it and to get them tested and then to get them treatment. I'm full for that 100%. When I was a taxpayer living in California, I would have been for that 100%. But no, you don't. No, you don't end new infections by making it by not having a deterrent of that. If I get HIV, then I sleep with my girlfriend and I give her HIV, knowing I'm knowingly infecting her with something that can kill her. I'm knowingly putting her in harm's way. And you're making it a misdemeanor and not a felony. But if I were to beat my girlfriend, that would be considered battery, assault, and that's a felony. That could put me away for a long time. How is the intent literally any different? That's my question to you, Scott Weiner. How is the intent on that any different? It's not. Because if the intent is there to harm or being reckless and knowing that you are, how is that going to stop new infections? Because, oh, it's a misdemeanor. Well, it's a misdemeanor. How easy would a lawyer be able to argue a misdemeanor down and get a slap on the wrist? I mean, it basically gives you, and this is going to be something other, but it almost gives you carte blanche to get away with murder. To get away with murder. If you knowingly infect somebody. That's not how you get education, man. That's not how you do this, period. You do this sort of thing by increasing awareness, by increasing, budgets for educational programs, for taking in testing centers, in areas where there might be a pocket of where this might be transmitted. And you start at a grassroots level. Changing legislation to make it a misdemeanor instead of a felony on the intent to transmit the disease, not how you do it. Not how you do it. But you don't care. You don't care. You want to get reelected. You just want to get reelected. You don't care. You are condemning some people to die, and you don't care. You just don't care. Oh no, we're gonna end new transmissions. No, you're not. No, you're not. You'd have better luck ending new transmissions by passing out condoms. You'd have better luck ending new transmissions by just like setting up a mobile testing unit. This is not doing that. Stupid asshole. Supporters of the bill said women engaging in prostitution are disproportionately targeted with criminal charges, even in cases where the infection is not transmitted. Oh, look, I am all for legalizing prostitution. Legalize like weed. Legalize it, tax it. Make sure it's on the up and up. Women get health checks. Women are protected in that particular regard. You give them that power. You give them that safety net. You know, but still, if there is a prostitute that is HIV infected, I don't want her walking the street. Like, you know, I'm sorry, whether that's her job or not. There's the intent there, whether it's transmitted or not. You're only gonna give it a crime if it's a roll of the dice. There's still intent. You know, it's one of those things, man. And yes, it's not an easy subject, and maybe I'm being a little bit over hyperbolic on this one, but the way I view it is you are literally sentencing people to a very painful existence, a limited existence, because you're an asshole and you're trying to get reelected because your Senate district is where there's been pockets of this for years, but now it's affecting the entire state. Now it's impacting the entire state. And I'm not saying that people are going to go out there and willfully just, you know, start screwing everything that, you know, that they can because they've got HIV. But there have been people out there over the years that have done that I felt so angered by the entire process of getting infected that they've transmitted it to people with intent because they're angry. And the next time a person wants to do this, now they can go, oh, well, it's only a misdemeanor. I'll be fine. You know, I get my rage out. I hurt somebody else, but I'm fine. Sure, I've condemned them to a life of, a crappy life in some respects. And look, let me just stop for a quick moment. If you are a person watching this who has contracted HIV or AIDS, this is not aimed at you. I feel horrible that you've gotten that. I feel horrible that that has happened to you. I feel horrible that the disease exists. My anger and frustration here is that people are playing fast and loose with the transmission of said disease. And by trying to make it a misdemeanor instead of a felony, it's putting a lot out there that can be used as more of a weapon with very little legal recourse in terms of how it will impact them on the whole, and everything else. It's maybe Scott Wiener's well-intentioned, but you can clearly see there's a bias here, and that is not going to work. Anyway, Republican lawmakers, including Senator Joel Anderson of Alpine, voted against the bill, arguing it puts the public at risk, which is true. I believe Alpine is actually east of San Diego. I'm of the mind that you purposefully inflict another with a disease that alters their lifestyle the rest of their life, puts them on a regimen of medications to maintain any kind of normalcy. It should be a felony. He also said it's absolutely crazy to me that we should go light on this, which is true. You know, Republicans, conservatives, you may hate them sometimes, but, you know, they've got good ideas. And it's true. If you are going to willfully infect somebody, how can you go light on that? Oh, well, you know, I mean, like, I willfully killed my partner, but it's okay, right? Like, no, you know, or I crippled my partner, or like, whatever. You did something that's going to impact their life, the rest of their life. And you're like, it's no big deal. I have AIDS. How does that even remotely work? Anderson said the answer could be to extend tougher penalties to those who expose to others to infectious diseases. And I do actually agree with that. I do. Because it's all about intent. If you are going to intend to hurt people, then you should not be given a pass, which is what this dude wants. And Governor Jerry Brown backed him and signed it. It's now in law in California. Governor Moonbeam's got to go. Senator Scott Wiener, Senate District 11 of San Francisco, has got to go. And any other politician that would rather decriminalize something that its intent is to harm people is not working for the people. They're working for their own self-interests. And that's exactly what we've seen here. And quite frankly, it's deplorable. Hey guys, that wraps up this video. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so below. I love to read your guys' input. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me in the YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel, there's the Amazon affiliate store, there's PayPal, there's Patreon, there's Bitcoin. And if you're bored and you want something else to watch, check out 3 Buck Theater up here. My name is Matt Jarbo. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a wonderful day. Peace out.